Hello everyone, welcome to Mohan's teaching corner. Today we are going to discuss about the nature of learning in education psychology, which is very important for your competitive examinations like Deputy Education Officer, Diet lecturers, NCERT, SCERT lecturers, M.Ed and other competitive examination. Let us see one by one. So, nature of learning. What is nature of learning? Okay, it is a continuous process. So, learning occurs throughout the life. It is not confined to the formal education setting. Okay, and it is a purposeful activity. Learning is a goal directed and motivated by the desire to achieve specific outcomes. So, learning is a result from interaction with the environment and personal experience. So, it is an experience based one and transferable. So, learning the knowledge, the skill you acquired in one situation, which is going to be applied in the new context. So, the nature of learning is it is a continuous process, it is a purposeful activity, it is the experience based, it is the transferable. So, learning and maturation. So, what is maturation? It is a biological growth and development that occurs naturally without any specific training. For example, walking, talking, like that. Then, learning. So, learning is a relatively permanent changes in behavior resulting from experience and practice. So, learning needs practice, it needs experiences. So, here we learn between the differentiate between maturation and learning. So maturation, it is a genetically determined, so the learning is a experience based. Then it is focused, it is follows a fixed sequence. Okay, like initially the child crawls, then walks, then runs, like that. But in learning occurs in any sequence. So this maturation occurs without any training requirement, but learning requires lot of practice and effort. Example, maturation example, walking, and learning is a swimming, cycling, riding, like that. So here learning and imprinting. Okay, what is imprinting? It is a quick natural way of learning where an animal or person forms a strong during the important time early in life. So what is critical period? It is a short and key time when certain types of learning happens. For example, here young ducks follows the first moving thing they see. Okay, then children learning the language, usually age between 0 to 7 years, and babies bonding with their caregivers. So learning and imitating, just it is like a imitating. Then types of learning. Okay, the learning, different learning styles are there. One is verbal learning, okay, concept learning, observational learning, motor learning, problem solving, and experiential. So verbal learning, acquisition of verbal information, vocabulary, facts, concepts through language. Then concept learning, so understanding different categories, different classification, and abstract relationships, like that. Then observation, so learning by watching others, it is also called as social learning. Motor learning, what is motor learning? Development of physical skills required coordination between muscle, like coordination, muscle and control. Okay, then problem solving, finding solution to the challenges through analysis and creative thinking. Then experiential learning, so learning through direct experience and reflection on outcome. So types of learning: verbal learning, concept learning, observational learning, motor learning, problem solving, then experiential learning. Then what is the outcomes of learning? So here the Bloom's taxonomy is there. It is a cognitive domain, so where knowledge acquisition, intellectual skills are improved. Then critical thinking. Then affective domain, our attitude, values, emotional responses. What is the physical, like psychomotor domain? Physical skills, coordination, technical abilities. Then factors affecting learning. What are the factors affects the learning? So either the learner factors is there, teachers factors are there, material factors are there, environment factors are there. So the learner factors. So learner's own intelligence and aptitude. Each like if they have a more intelligence and aptitude towards the learn something, then it will be easy. Then motivation and interest. One should have the proper motivation and interest. Physical, mental health also contributes the learning. Then prior knowledge of the learner. So is the learners factors. Then teacher factors. So what the teaching methods are used in the classroom, whether the teacher is expertise in a subject, whether the teacher has the relationship, proper relation with the student, and how the feedback gives. This also factors of learning. Then material factors. So how the curriculum is designed, what is the learning resources are used, and whether they have the proper technology access, then whether the proper assessment there or not. This comes under material factors. Then environmental factors. So where it is the physical classroom setup, whether they have the proper ventilation, proper lighting, and proper space. Then relation with the peer group, with the student, their friends. Okay, how the home environment also make the uh, more important factor in learning. Then socio-economic condition. So learners, whether they have the economically properly or not. So this also make the learning, it affects the uh, learning things. Okay, learners factors, material factors, teachers factor, environmental factors. Then we know, we already learned in B.Ed, okay, and M.Ed. So learning theories, then behaviorism, cognitivism, and constructivism. So like behaviorism focus on observable behavior, changes through stimulus responses. Okay, like key figures like Ivan Pavlov, Skinner, Watson. Okay, and application, classroom management, skill training, like that. In behaviorism we can see this cognitism. So it emphasizes on mental process, memory, and information process. The key psychologists like Piaget, Brunner, Asubel. Then it is application like problem solving, concept learning. Then constructivism. So learners actively construct the knowledge based on their earlier experience, like Vygotsky, John Dewey. Okay, it is application on the project-based learning, discovery learning. Then here the key concept what we have to observe here, the keys of learning, nature of learning. It is a continuous, it is a purposeful, it is a experience based, it is a transferable. So you have to remember what the characteristics and principles of learning in examination point of view. And the learning maturation. So maturation sets readiness. Learning requires experience. In order to learn something, they have to be mentally and physically ready. Then what you have to focus, difference, you should understand the difference between maturation and learning. Okay, and what is the relationships also. You have to remember that one. Imprinting, so it happens in critical period. So instinctive attachment formation. Okay, and you should also remember the examples and its significance. Then types of learning, we already discussed about the verbal, motor, concept, problem solving, observational, experimental. Then you have to understand. Okay, please refer the the psychology book. Okay, education psychology, which is for the available for the M.Ed people. Okay, then here learning outcomes. You should know the Bloom's taxonomy, cognitive, affective, and psychomotor dominions clearly. Then so it is going to ask that types, like hierarchy, how it is going to be applied. Okay, factors affecting, what are the factors there affecting the learners? Learner, teacher, environment, material factors. So what is the impact of the learner's experience, teachers demonstration in the class, and how the physical environment and family environment, how the curriculum affect the learning process. So this is the key summary. So if you want, you can take the screenshot of this one. Then here, how you are going to be apply these in education setting. As a you are going to be a deputy educational officer, so what you have to do this as a lecturer, as a teacher, okay, as a officer. So classroom strategies based on learning principle. So differentiate instruction, so addressing various learning types and individual differences. So if you are giving instruction, it should be based on their learning capacity, then their individual difference. On the base of individual difference, you have to give the instruction. So scaffolding, so you have to supporting the learn based on their maturation and readiness. Then critical period utilization, so language learning, social skill development is there, and Bloom's based assessment, evaluating the across the cognitive levels. Then what you have to do, this is some of the example. So focus on relationships like learning maturations and types of learning outcome. So you have to prepare like have practical examples related to this learning, okay, and you should know the how these learning theories can be applied in real life, in the real classroom situation, in the real working experience. You have to keep in mind in order to get past. So here, uh, so education is not the learning of facts, but the training of the minds to think. Okay, so do subscribe and share with your friends. So I'm going to complete entire syllabus related to the deputy educational officer, which is going to be conducted by the Telangana Public Service Commission. It is also useful for those who are preparing for SCERT, NCERT and diet lecturers. Do remember and do subscribe and share with your friends. Do watch again and again, then it is going to be remembered forever, and there is a more chance of getting succeed in your examination. Thank you. All the best for your coming examination.